Welcome back. So today we are working on Ruckard Divergenced strategy part 13, and instead of working on adding the smooth squeeze momentum indicator to our strategy, we're going to check why the hell one trade does not close when it should close. Okay, so I'm going to show you what I'm talking about. So here we are working with I1 or I2, I'm not sure which version. So if we reset settings, we can go on 25th of July, 22 of July, and at around 19 hour. Okay, let me see, 27 of July. Wait, what happened? Yeah, this is not right. 27 of July at around 19 hours. So what the hell? Yeah, so here what I'm going to do is to turn on the settings, and I'm going to remove the RSI protection. So that means that I'm going to remove the long RSI protection here. So that means that we don't care too much about what RSI protection does. And this strategy is going to be closed elsewhere. Okay. This might be fixed then. No. Yeah, so the question is, why the hell does this close? This one makes sense because it's a short position, which doesn't go well. But the question is why this trade here close. So this is 12 instead. 12 hour from 27 July. Why there is a close here if we don't have this protection? We also have number of minutes to wait to open a new order after the previous one has been opened 0. So if it was something about going short, we should see it here. But the only way to close is the RSI. Sorry, the only way to close is RSI closing. Yeah, okay. Let's start again because I have done this. I have not this properly. So let's reset everything. And now I don't care about RSI protection, but I say that I don't want to close based on RSI. So this should be removed. And I think it's close around here. Okay. So here we have a short position that opens. What the hell? I saw that there was not a short position here. That was 17 hour having a set. Okay, let me try with E strategy. Maybe I was testing E strategy and I had to test. No, that's not right. So I want to test I strategy. 27th of July something. Well, it seems that this is not right. This is not the thing that I was expecting. Maybe I had long only here when I was doing my tests, and that's why I didn't see this. Let me check for a second. Long only or short only? No, long only should be. Maybe that's the reason why. Yeah. Okay. But even then, that's a good question. Okay, so that's the reason why, because here there is a short condition. So the question might be, do we have to ignore short positions when you go only? You go short or you go long only? I don't think so, but... And so if you enable RSI closing, it closes before this level. That's right. And when you remove it, it closes here, but now we know the reason. The reason is that here there is a short position. So this is a thing that we have not discussed much. So here's the thing. So long close, it's going to close if there's a short condition. That makes sense, because that way you can do the reverse, okay? But short condition, yeah. So the question is it worth to ignore short positions when you are going in long only? Because yeah, and when that happens, when are we supposed to close the order? Because we already had the RSI closing. Say this is too much overbought, we are going to close. So we would need something similar to the query closing lines, which is what happens here. So you say use query closing lines and show them. That's what happens in E. And it should go way up, and then when you are around here you close, and that's what I think happens with E. So let me check E strategy. Let's see what happens. So E strategy comes here, and then it's close here. I mean, it's a short position that doesn't go so well, but we have much more length to the upside. That's what we want. And in E strategy we are not closing here because of short, so that's difference. And we don't have anything else. maybe there is maybe the difference is that this short would not have been true because of the conditions about having these values on how much minimum do you need in order to short. Maybe that's the difference between the E and the I if we turned on this. So this is one thing that we are going to compare and see what do we understand. So we should compare E and I and see if there is any difference here. So E, hopefully E it's E5, and this is I is the one that I want to compare. Okay, we have managed to E something. Okay, yeah, makes sense. Okay, and E it's another ladder. Nice. So let's see if we check any difference that will change this. So curriculums in lines, some spaces. There's the RSI protection and so on that we have disabled. And here along RSI protection, do we have anything about having a minimum protection minimum? Okay, so on the right we have these minimum protections for going up and down, and that's might be it. That might be it. These settings about having a minimum do not happen to be on E. So wait, if they are not in E, I'm not sure. So RSI mode. RSI closing strategy. Here there is another difference. On E we don't close if, yeah, but this is not something that we are using, so no, I do not understand why E doesn't exit here. I mean, yeah, that's the reason. So E should be exited there or not. So when we change to I, there should be something similar here, and that's not the reason. That's not the case. So curriculums in line should close up here, not there. So if we remove RSI protection, there should be no difference. There is no difference. RSI source is closed. This should not make no difference. RSI closing. Okay. And what about these minimums about short? Maybe let me check. So there's something that does not make sense to me. I mean, this is closing because there's a short position here Okay, so if you turn this on, if you turn this with reverse, you're going to see how here it tries to make a short. That's why this long closes here. That's nice. The problem is what happens with E strategy. So if you go to E strategy, it doesn't close here, and I want to know why. So first of all, let's take a look at E. Okay, and let's check if this is E5. So E letter, it's E5. So that's the right comparison. So we have the E with I. So there should be something that makes E not to close this. What's the name? This trade, and whatever the reason, and so this is reverse. Whatever the reason, it doesn't close here, but it does on I, and I need to know why, and that's why I'm comparing them. Okay, so career closing lines, we don't care too much about this. Then there's protection closing. I mean, there's the RSI protection, long RSI level, short RSI level. So this protection is about opening or not a new trade. So this is enable long RSI protection. So it should not affect on I whether we close or not a trade. So if we go into the settings, enable long RSI protection, being it only applies long condition. Wait a moment. So long condition is for opening a new trade. So you check RSI protection long, and the RSI protection long might be false. The question is, what does happen when a trade has this long condition that it's false? So when long condition is false, pre-long long gets a false, and do we have any setting about long false? Long being false, does it look at that? Here there is, wait a moment. This is something that I haven't seen. We have a big problem here. So this long means that we are in a long position. So what we do is just do the stuff. But in this specific case, we are not in a long position, but we don't want to close it. We don't want to initiate a new trade, but it doesn't mean that we want to close the current one. So as this is based on pre-long, and pre-long is based on long condition. Long condition is based on long RSI protection. That means that long conditions becomes false, and so pre-long becomes false, and long becomes false. So when long becomes false, it means that you are using this calculus to know where the hell to put your stop loss. Okay? So this other stop loss means that later on you are going to tell here, where can I find here? This is 1 second. So this other stop loss, okay, it means that it's going to be used later in order to calculate the take profit. We are not using take profit. Wait a second. So I think we should use the settings about being in long order or not, other than this. But the question is, what's the difference between E and Y, in E and I, about this? Because there's a difference. Otherwise we wouldn't have this problem. But we have a big problem with long. Yeah, that's right. So, big problem with long. It should not close an already open position if the long protection tells not to open a new long position. Anyway, if I'm being right, the way of fixing this, I mean the way of showing this, so this is E5, it doesn't close here. So if we want to do the same thing with I, we should be able to do the same thing if we modify its settings and we say that we don't want a protection. So we don't want RSI protection, and we already have removed long RSI protection. So that's why I do not understand why this is closing our there's also the auto levels, which I don't think we care too much, but let's turn everything on and off and see if we see any change here. Nothing. Dynamic level. Is it a problem about using a custom time frame? Maybe it's a problem about two old orders, because this is going to be used the other way around. No. What about short orders? So if we have reverse here, you're going to see the short position here. Short position, and this should not be closing anything, because I mean let me see. We want to be around here. So I understand that when there is a short condition, it will try to close the long because it says so here. But what I do not understand is why E it's not closing there. It might be something about short condition not triggering at all. So I am a bit confused about what's happening actually here. Maybe we should write down what the hell do we want to check, and then we can maybe understand. So we have this problem about long, that should not close an already position if the long protection tells not to open a new long position. I haven't found this problem yet, but this is something that you want to fix. Okay, so there's a problem here. There's a second problem here. Which we might have found or not in the past. So the answer is there is actually a short position being although not used. Okay. Do we need that ignores reverse side when we are only or short only? So this is something that I'm not sure if you want a new option or not, but the way I see it is that so you have true or false, so that when you are using long only or short only, if we have if here it says short, we ignore it because we are only playing with long stuff, so we don't care about what short does, so we ignore till we need it. Okay, so this is one thing that we could think about adding to the settings. So not sure if we will have long only strict and short only strict, or just long only and short only. That's the reason. And then you can have the same thing. There's this long and short only also. This is another way of doing stuff, which does not use reverse. So I think that okay, so long only, we should be able to go up here without any advice from short. So maybe I will add a strict long short only, and we will do this first because I'm quite curious. So this is new option about having strict long only, short only. So this is something about adding a strict long only and short only to divergenced I2, then you want this to be on the Ruckard Zignaly template, and you also want to recreate divergenced I2 from Ruckard Zignaly template. Okay. Okay, so then there's this other problem about it should not close. So in other words, a long protection should not affect long variable, but open long with protection variable. Open long with protection. Wait a moment. New variable that it's open long. Yeah, so open long. No, that's not true. Wait a second. Yeah, but open long. And open long should be only used when opening new long position and not for keeping long positions open. The main problem is about calculating a stop loss if long becomes false because of the current long protection. Okay, so when the long protection says false, then long becomes false, and the stop loss is calculated based on this being false. Okay, and that's where maybe we should only fix the stop loss calculus so that it also checks if short is true or not, although you are supposed to calculate those values before a new trade is open. So it's a bit confusing what to do in the end. Okay, so now let's see. New, so long only, short only. Okay, so let's ignore this problem right now because I think it's a bit more confusing, and I'm not sure if it's worth it, if I'm being honest. And then we have the strict long only and strict short only. So let's open divergence I Phoenix here so that we can work on this properly. So what we want to do is quite easy in theory. So what we want to do is to modify long close and short close, which is here. Okay, so long close and short close, which is down here somewhere, should not depend on long condition if we are using the strict long short settings. Okay, so how the hell do we do this? So first of all, we need to add a new setting somewhere. So around this long short, here it is. So long short, and reverse. We should be able to add a true false setting, which I'm going to use this one as template. So we want to have here an strategy, a strict strict enable strict strategy. Let's see. So strategy how the hell do we write this down? So ignore well, I'm not sure. I mean, this is something that you want to use only with ignore long only, short only, opposite. Okay, so the strict long short mode, and that's it. I mean, there is no, we are not going to add any we are not going to add any what's the name, anything else. So let's write this down as being disabled, and now let's go into long short and so on and see what we can do there. Long close, here it is. So what we want to do is something like, if you enable a strict strategy, you need to do one thing, and if you do not enable it, well, I don't care. So if you enable it, you want to ignore the other way, and if you use it, well, just do what you were doing so far. Here we have the same thing. So if we enable a strict strategy, we do one thing or the other one. So it should be rather easy to say, so if you enable, you don't care about the long condition. Okay, you just do like this. So let's see if we manage to find any difference here. So this is I. So if we take a look at I source code, so first of all, let's reset everything here so that we can take a screenshot here. And yeah, wait a moment. Okay, let's say that we are only going to work with a long only. Okay, so that's the deal. We want to work with long only. So long only it's, wait a moment. Long only, it's like this. You have 18% of profit, and this is the graphic with only long only. Okay. As you can see, it closes here, and we don't want this. Yeah, okay, so we want long only and remove the RSI closing. So let's write this down. RSI closing. So we want to test. So test before long only plus RS long. Okay. So before we have long type long only, that's the thing that we change, and we also have RSI L. What was the name? Here it is. Enable L RSI closing. This is false. Okay. So let's do this. So we are on in long only, and then we go here and we remove RSI closing. That's right. So let's do a screenshot here so that we save this one. Okay. So now I should be able to copy and paste all of this into the source code, and if I'm not being mistaken, there should be no difference because the settings will be saved by default with the values that we are using. So let's see what happens here. It should have the same thing. So now it's doing stuff, and I guess that I have to. I guess this has been reset, and I need to say, yeah, long only and RSI closing. Yeah, RSI closing, whatever the reason, it has been turned on. So yeah, so if I take a look at the screenshot, this is the same thing. So we have the same graph when we use the new code. Okay, so now we're going to modify the setting that says please use a strict long short mode when you are doing some long only or short only. So this is what we have here. So if we ignore short, total close trade percent perfect 0%. My God, this is a very bad. What's the name? This is a very bad strategy because it doesn't close anywhere. So yeah. So what you can see here is that we are ignoring stuff, but now we can go into the settings and turn on query closing lines, which are somewhere. Are they up here? Yeah. So I can use and show query close lines so that price goes up whatever it's needed, and we should have difference there. So now instead of winning 80%, that's what happens with E, we win 23%, and it's 52 percent profitable. So if we go into E, which didn't have all of this protection, and we turn on long only, if I'm not being mistaken. Yeah, let's what's the name? Let's reset. Let's say that this is long only. So with this, as you can see, you have 111 trades. Let's do a screenshot so that we can compare. Now let's show E instead of, sorry, let's show I instead of E. So with I we have much less trades. Not sure why, but we have much less trades, and more or less it goes up. I mean, there's this thing here which doesn't go quite well, which could be something like this, but we find like that everything goes up. It's 52% profitable, and so when we ignore long entries, I mean short entries, we can go up a bit more, and then well, we just have to wait till there's a good entry somewhere. I mean, there is no much trades if you. So here we have some more trades with these new settings, and these trades, so what happens is that the price goes down too much and they're closed. Otherwise we should be able to wait here like 3% going down, stop loss, and I guess this does not make sense with this strategy. So but we can try and see if there's something. So now we have added this strict mode that happens to work quite well in long mode, but let's see what happens if we use short only. So let's go short only and ignore long entries on the other way around. So if you use short only, this is not so good unless you think about these entries here, but otherwise this is not working so good with short only. So the question is, Bitcoin is what's the name? So Bitcoin is not worth equity, not sure, security. That's why ignoring Bitcoin is a not worth security. That's why ignoring long entries when going short is not a good thing. So we could have another setting that only uses this new way of working on long and see if we have better results. But this is a bit cheating, I guess. So let's go back to long only. Let's play a bit more with long only. So I want to check what do we have here. So now we could maybe try to use maybe a bigger stop loss so that it doesn't close here, but I'm not sure if this is going to be enough. I mean, not sure if this is a good idea. Yeah, I mean, you need to use a quite big stop loss for any of this to be nice. although we have a 63%. I mean, maybe we shouldn't. So if you use 3 ATR, so that price moves much more than right now, you have a 15% return. And yeah, the only problem is that you have to, the average bars is 1 day, so I'm not sure if this is worth it, but maybe with 2 we can have more trades instead of only 62. Yeah. Look at this. This is 58% profitable. And profit factor is 2. This is quite nice. Yeah, I mean, yeah, the problem is being able to use this, and I'm not sure if this is overfitting, because what we have originally is 1.5, and let's see. %. Yeah, I mean, we can explore this. So let's explore I2 plus all of this here, which is type long only, enable and query closing lines true, and yeah, I think that's it. So if I reset everything, and I want, and I also want strict mode true, strategy strict mode true. Okay, so so now we have reset everything and it works by default, which is more or less okay. And so where was it? 27th of October, September, something like this. So this is the place where we don't want to stop. Around this place we want to go up. So let's try the settings. That works nice, but it's a bit testing too much. I mean, it's something that you will do in a spot. So we want, let's see, where is it? We want long only. We want long, enable RSI closing with long. We don't want it. We want query closing lines to be turned on, and we will check them. We will show them, I mean. Sorry, here it is. And finally, we want to turn on the strict long short mode. Otherwise, this does not help us to go up, to go higher. So if we turn this on, this should be a bit better somewhere, because we are going to have more upwards. So profit factor 178. So without having this, we should have a smaller profit factor, I guess. Let's see. Yes, we have a 156 profit factor, but with this strict mode, profit factor is better. So this is what I want to explore later on. So with doing something like using 2 here on the ATR, so that it doesn't exit too often because of stop loss. So we have managed to use 2 less trades, and we have a bit more profit factor. Max down is smaller. Okay, unfortunately we are about 1 day in positions, although this might be a good thing if we keep on taking these trending lines. Let's see what happens when you go here, when we have had so much movement. We haven't managed to go up here. So if we use these settings, so what I can try to do is to use just a constant stop loss and use 4 or 5% as a stop loss. So what you do here is to say that stop loss is, I don't know, 5%, and the type is constant. So this is one thing that I will do. So A31 stop loss 4%. So here, wait a moment. If this is 5%, this should not be closing here. Why the hell does this close here? Wait a moment. So we open the position here, and we have 1.25% here. This should not be closing here because we have this strict mode, and we have the Curie closing lines. Okay, Curie closing lines. This goes up and this goes down. This goes up, this goes down. No. Wait a moment. Okay, 2 all orders. So we need to also ignore 2 all orders. That's right. 2 old orders, both of them, needs to be turned off. So now I'm wondering if I remove both of them. Okay, so now I remove both of them, which is the same thing because we are only going long. My question is, can I ignore this stop loss thanks to ATR and not with 5%, which is a bit, you know, look at this, 80% profitable, okay, because stop loss is quite big, it's 5%, and we almost go up, but unfortunately this means that we are 36 hours in a position. And also here there's a stop loss because, yeah, the Curie closing lines sometimes are not so good, but that's what you have here. So let me change this to ATR, and this was 7 by default. So what you want to do is modify the multiplier so that it's something different than 2. So if it closes here, you want this to be something like 4, I guess. I mean, this is not right. Let's see if it closes or not down here. Okay, 4. Now let's say 7. What happens with 7? Man, if it's not 7, okay. So now we have 85% profitable, profit factor to 24, but trades need to be 48 hours. So it's a bit like, let's ignore close. You know what I mean? That's a bit, not sure if this is cheating. So maybe we can make the stop loss multiplier smaller so that we have much more benefit. Maybe not 6.5. Yeah, I mean here. I mean, yeah, so we have this 232 profit factor, and this is only twice net profit compared to max drawdown. We play with much less money because the stop loss is much bigger. You know what I mean? So maybe this is not worth it. Okay. So we have 879 and so 879 if you divide it with 278 is 3. Okay. Let's see what does happen if we turn this to 1.5 instead of what we were trying. So what happens is that we have much more return, and if we compare 23.12 and we divide it with 599, this is 385. So this one is better, and I think we have more trades now. Well, I'm not sure about that. I think we have more trades. We are less time with positions. We are only 20 hours. We are not 36 hours till the stop loss something, because we don't want to do this stuff with stop loss not being right and so on. We could also add some DCA somewhere if you want this to be more profitable, but that's not the idea. So this is the thing that we want to explore, and then there's the one about saying let's use a constant 4% stop loss and curry closing lines. So this one, yeah, I mean, this one has much more percent profitable, but it's 34, and this should be, let's see, this is much better because we win 19%, then max drawdown is 3%. So we could play with stop loss, put it to 5 and so on, and see what's the nice one. But yeah, so 4% of the stop loss, and then you let everything to work towards going up, and that's it. Yeah, this is another way of doing a nice strategy. Yeah, man, I can. There is a lot of drawdown here, which is 52. So here on 52, there's a lot of drawdown. Why? Because I'm going, wait a second, is it because this goes down from here to 1 56%. Okay. Well, I'm sure. Look at this. We ignore this divergence, we ignore this divergence, and we go up. So this is nice. So this is something that we can explore with the 4% stuff, okay, and with the strict only stuff. And now, well, let's see, what the hell do I do? Because let's save this setting, then this is I. Do we have any? Yeah, we have K OHLC4 pine, which, why the hell do we have this, by the way? So we have I Phoenix, and we have divergence K. Let's see. So we have okay, so K is the same thing as I, but we haven't done anything else here. So this should go on K, although K has a wrong, what's the name? A wrong file name, but I don't think we care too much about this right now. So what we can do is to copy divergence I into K. Yeah, shouldn't. So now we have I has these changes, and also B has these changes, but this is not right. Wait a moment. So let's revert, let's restore this one here. Now let's compare both of them. Let's apply the changes manually. So I don't want to apply this change, nor this change, but I want to apply these other changes here, so that we have these new settings, which we will see what the hell to do with them. Okay, so now if we check the changes, we have the changes in both I and in both K. So what I want to do right now is to restore I, okay, because we don't care too much about these changes. So now if we go here, we can reload, and we should have divergence K somewhere, or maybe not, maybe it's not open yet. No. So we should be able to open K so that we work with it in both the top and the bottom. Let's show the line numbers, and we will work with K. Even if it says OHLC4, because we have to add the other thing, we will have this divergence mode. Okay, let me see, what the hell is divergence K? That's right. Divergence K, so we can remove I if we want to. We will also have divergence K down here. So now I'm going to use a smooth mean long, yeah, what's the name, short strict, yeah. So we are going to Yeah, maybe I do not need to save this right now because I can do this. Yeah. So let's improve this with a new setting. One for long and another one for short. So that, because that's what I'm going to do. So the smart way of doing stuff is that if you are upwards, you want a long to ignore short, but you don't want short to ignore long. Okay. So that's what we are going to do here and see what happens. So that means that we need to settings. So down here we're going to check whatever is used, which is the strategy, strict strategy. So down here we have this long, short, and long. Where are you here? So strict long mode and strict short mode. So this is going to be strict long. I mean, let's show how we do this down here when we have this. Yeah, enable long RSI, long RSI. So this should be long, I mean long strict mode and short strict mode. That's what you want to use. So long strict strategy and short strict strategy. Okay. So these two are turned off by default. And so what I want to do is just say that this is for long. So for long we want to ignore this. And for short we want to ignore the other one. So now we save all of this. And we have only on K file we have this difference. I guess I could make a commit, but I will do this later. So let's copy and paste this on development here on the Y. Let's see what happens. So what you want to explore is enable LRSI closing false. Strategy long strict mode true. Wait a moment, which are the settings? What the hell? Strict mode, yeah. Long strict mode should be true, and short strict mode should be false. That's the same thing that we did before. Why is this turn on or off? Wait a moment. Short. I am not seeing it. False, this is false. Okay, so this by default should be false. I'm not sure why. Yeah, this is, let's reset everything. Otherwise, this is not working as expected. So what you want to do is to have a long strict so what you want to do to have exactly the same thing as before. I mean, a strict mode is going to be ignore if you only do long only. So what you want is, where is it? You want long only. You want RSI closing, you don't want to use it. So let's remove it. Nice. You also want query closing lines to be used, which are up here, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, so you want query closing lines to be used. You also want long strict mode to be true. We don't care about the short strict mode. And we want to remove the two old orders. We want to remove them. So let's see. 52%. And if we do not use the RSI closing and so on, we could remove all the code about RSI closing because it's a bit too much calculus comes in. So this is what you have: 53% and 1.7 profit factor. And then optionally, you can do something like using a constant ATR, a constant stop loss of 4% or whatever, and it's going to be a bit better. You have 80% profitable, so on. You know what I mean? But it means more stuff here. Now we can play. Okay, now we can play. Now we can say, hey, I want this to be 7 as always, but I want this ATR to be 2 times whatever, so that you can choose to wait a bit more. So what happens is that you win a bit less, but we have more percents, so we have 65%. Okay, so this is something that it's worth trying. So the other version is constant ATR stop loss of 2 something. Okay, so I have written down here what you might be interested in testing, which is this, but we will explore them later because otherwise this is going to take too much. So the other thing that I want to explore is these same settings, but with short. So this should be something like, let me see. So you have all of these settings, which are the same ones as here. Then you say constant stop loss to 4% and ATR stop loss to 2. Okay, so there's the, but there's a difference here. I am going to use reverse, and here you are. So long strict mode is true and short strict mode is false. So that means that when you're going to short, you are if long entry happens, you're going to close yourself. Okay, this should be quite good. So the way of doing this is just reverting this ATR stop loss to 1.5. Okay, now we have something like 52% profitable and so on with 34. No, well, that's not it. So we have this. Okay, and now let's see what happens when we keep the strict mode false in short, because we want this to stop doing short positions when long wants to enter. Let's see what happens with reverse here. Do we have something even better than before? Okay, so we have this stuff, which does not work so well, apparently. And the reason is that we are not using RSI to close the stuff. Maybe that's the reason. I'm not sure. Anyway, RSI closing. Okay, yeah. We need to, RSI closing needs to be closed because we don't want to use this. So wait a moment. Now that I think about this, we didn't do this before when trying short. So this should be like this, S. This should be false too, otherwise doesn't make sense. Let's see what happened here. So yeah, this goes wrong and then it goes up, and it's nice. So if we start here to strategy, it's going to be quite nice. Otherwise, not so much. Okay, so let me check what we can do here. So if we use, I wanted to test before, and I'm not sure if I did it the right way, is short only with a strict mode. That means ignore long. Okay. And this should be short only with the old behavior, because not with the old behavior, with the new behavior. Anyways, it seems that using reverse and yeah, what about reverse and having the strict mode for both of them? So the idea is that you wanted long to be strict mode and you didn't want this to be strict mode, but I think that it depends on if you are on a downtrend or not. So maybe using a higher time frame, closing should be better. What about the RSI protection in order to go long or short? Does it help us somehow? That's a good question. It does not, I mean, it does not help us too much. So maybe you want the strict mode, both of them. Not sure about this. No. Okay, so here it is. So apparently this only works in, it's so this not, so apparently going long is a good idea, but going short it's not a good idea, or doing the reverse stuff. So I think we could do something like using the strict mode or short based on, I mean, let's write this down, although I am not too convinced about this. So this is something like, so this is something like same as A4, but a strict mode for long is only turned on when in an upwards trend based on EMA crossings. From higher time frame. And same thing with the same thing here. So a strict mode for short is only turned on when in a downwards trend. So this could be better, but I am not sure. So just ignore divergences if the trades are going the other way around. So this is quite similar to having the higher time frame somewhere. Where the hell is this? Higher time frame. Enforce higher time frame trend. Okay, we can use this with these settings. See if it helps a bit. Okay, only 4 trades and you win. This does not make sense at all. So we want a strict mode in both of them, I guess. I'm not sure what the hell. Okay, let's reset everything. Nice. So now everything has been reset. Let's use a strict mode in both of the cases. Now let's ignore the RSI protection because we don't want anything to do with the RSI protection. Sorry, not the RSI protection, the RSI closing. Let's wait for this to do stuff. So let's remove closing with RSI and let's turn on the Curie closing lines so that we have something better. We could have different Curie closing lines for short and long. Okay. Now we are on reverse. That means that we have both long and both short orders. Okay. And what we want to do is to enforce higher time frame so that we can go down with a strict. Okay. And apparently this is something strange. It doesn't want to have so many trades. Okay, let's use 4 hours and maybe EMAS instead of volume stuff. Thought this could be okay, and we want always to remove 2 old orders, so we might start a new setting somewhere because otherwise this is not working as expected. So this was BMWA in 1 hour. And we also want to show it. So we can see it upwards up here. Okay. Then there's the doing the other way around, force high time frame. So when you are here, you short only. When you are here, you're long only. I'm not sure it's a good idea, but it's quite interesting how we don't have so many trades. So maybe it's something about the RSI protection. Then it's doing everything wrong. 25. What about removing these settings here? Okay. So I'm not sure if this is a good idea. Yeah, I am asking myself if I'm doing something wrong here, because we have so many settings to turn on and off, and I am not checking them from the... Okay, so yeah, that's it. I mean, why not? What the hell is this? Something else. Okay. Anyway, that's what we have. So by default, this is not turn on. And if you work with long only, this seems to be a good thing. I mean, usually using only long only seems to be a good thing, because short many times is not working as expected. So that's why. Okay. ADX filter. Hi. So Luis M. Seijas says to add an ADX filter, but maybe ADX filter. I do not believe in ADX filter. Okay, let's ask, how would you go about implementing it? Going into long if ADX is 20x, something more. Okay, so this is let's see. So if you want, if you want, so right now we have, if we have both sides, it's not a good idea, enforcing the strict mode. Okay. And this is something to be done. Okay. Nice. And so using long only on all of these settings is a good idea, because whatever, because we want to ignore short mainly. And then there's okay, so we have managed to have wait a moment, this is not right. We have managed to have this new option in Divergence K2, I think that's K something. I think that's the version. Okay. So this is one thing that we have managed to do. The second one is what happens with long protection if we have problems with long protection. That's something that I want to fix. And this is something that we need to explore. So I will write this down for later. So this should be divergenced K2, and I want to do A3. Okay. Nice. So now what I want to do is to work with something else. So we have managed to add these new settings, which I think it's worth keeping them. So let's see. We have almost 2 hours. So what I want to do right now before working on... So before working on this stuff here, which is this big problem with long protection, what I want to do is to add these new features to the Ruckard Zignaly template and also recreate K2 from the Ruckard Zignaly template, because otherwise it may be not recreating, but this needs to be added to the Zignaly template. Otherwise this is not. So now we have this, so we should have this here, and we say something like commit okay, so this should be added something. A strict mode. So maybe we can... A strict mode means that we ignore whatever opposite side suggests. Do not close a long position if short, if this suggested to open a short position. When you are already in a long position. Yeah, so this is what the strict mode means. I guess that they should add some explanation somewhere so that it's a bit better. So now we can have another version. Let's this is K2 and K2. The thing is, filters in the past, and they seem not to be good at all. Have you tested them in 1 hour time frame? So this is K2, and up here which you have K2 to here. This is not it. Okay, yeah, so this is what conversion to K2, and we also want attack here. So this is K2. Nice. Let's push everything here. So by default this is not turned on because I don't want to be long only right now. So what the hell is this? So I should be able to find this here somewhere. So let's take a look at all of the tags. The newest one is this one. So this is divergenced and K. So this is going to be found on the video description so that anyone which wants to use it, he can use it. Okay. So I'll be back in 5 minutes or so. Okay, so I'm back. ADX34. Oh my god. ADX from the same time frame. Okay, so now we have managed to do this, and I want to put this stuff onto the Ruckard Zignaly template. Nice. Let's do it, and we might open a new video, but I'm not sure about that. Otherwise, this video takes too long. So what I want to do, so that this is squeezed, so that this is easier to do, is take this one and also Ruckard Zignaly template. Let's compare the two of them, and we have a lot of differences. BTC of 15 minutes, less entries, max successes. BTC in 15 minutes. Okay. I'm not sure if it's gonna be worth it, because I'm working in 1 hour. So what we want to do here is to add the strict mode here, and then everywhere where it's used, just add it to the right, and we will have it. So let me see, divergence long. This is not it. So here we have the difference. So if this is enabled, I want to use it, and if this is enabled, I want to use it, and that's it. That's the only changes that we want in the what's the name here? In the Ruckard Zignaly template. So now man, I might use so we should be able to, so hit diff should show this, which is exactly the code that we want to use. And then we should be able to do something like this and add a commit about the template, which is ours set something, r set something. Where are you? R set something. Maybe I can write R here. Nice. Let's see what's the ladder from the Ruckard squeeze. Do I have it written here somewhere? Is it open somewhere here? Ruckard Zignaly template. Or is this something that I have not opened in a while? Okay. This is A. Okay, so now I want to add same code as same commit as before. So this should be like this. So what you want to add this treat node here, and now we are done. And have been not sure if it's worth to add a new release for this. I mean, yeah, but yeah, we can do it. Let's see. Squeeze divergenced. Divergenced. Wait a moment. Yeah. Let's find it. Ruckard Zignaly template. Let's just use this as A10. And we will have this template. And this should be, we should use the current date, which I'm not sure I have done it on the other, on the divergence script. I'm not sure if I have done it this properly, but so this is A10. So we should be able to bump this. Let's see if we can find something about, yeah, this one. So bump version to A10. That's right. Then we should have something about this too. That's here. A10. That's nice. Okay, let's write here something else from the chat. Yeah, yes, this can be 8.6. So it's something like at 34. And he says that 15 minutes is a good thing to have. Okay, so now I should be able to find the Ruckard Zignaly template. Where the hell is this? Ruckard Zignaly template. Yeah, so here Ruckard Zignaly template. Maybe I have it open somewhere here. I don't need to search it properly. To search it from scratch. Okay, so Ruckard Zignaly template. This is A9, and this is now A10. This is the right thing. So let's edit the video description and add this script here. This link. Now we are done, and we should end here the video, otherwise this is going to be quite long. So let's do some stuff here, because otherwise... So we have the original thing to do was to work on the smooth divergence, the smooth squeeze momentum indicator. So this was one thing to do. But now we have more stuff to do. So let me check how the hell do I do all of this. So here I have more stuff to do. That could be write the script from the Ruckard Divergenced background. Yeah, I mean, how many here we have? Here 5, so I could do here 6. Okay, so the next thing that I want to do is I want to work on, wait a second. Yeah, that's a good question. Yeah, I think I want to work So the first thing I want to work with is this ADX, although ADX, so this ADX, let's say. Then I want to work on this new big problem. I mean, this has been done, not the recreation that we might do it later on. Okay, so this is done. This should be let's say number 6. This should be number 7. We don't want to do this, and we want to do this, which is this one. Yeah, so here one we don't have it. The question is, do I want to actually work on 3, 4, and 5 before doing this? I don't think so. So let's see. I should find a better way of doing this stuff, like having an Excel. Okay, I guess I will just check the hire and see what do I want to do, and that's it. The thing is that I have more or less everything that I want to do, the same place. Nice. So now we should end the video here. So thank you for watching the video, and I think I will do another stream in about 30 minutes, but I am not sure. I might not be doing it. So let's stop here the stream. Thank you very much for watching the video. If you want to test the strict modes, you have both the Zignaly template and the Divergenced script on the video description.